So you're thinking about running an Aarakocra for your next Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition character.
Shake your moneymaker! Ooh, 2 hits! Yeah!
This is the first in a series of videos I will be making that will cover all the playable races of the Dark Sun campaign setting. In each video I'm going to go over everything you need to know about the race in question. This will include the advantages and disadvantages they have, as well as whatever role-playing challenges they might present. I will also compare in depth the Athasian versions of each playable race to their standard 2nd edition counterpart, if any exists. Before I go any further, I would like to take this opportunity to remind you that I am running a subscriber drive. When I reach 100 subscribers, I will give away this 2nd edition AD&D Book of Character Record Sheets. The book is in like new condition. All you have to do to enter the drawing for this prize is to subscribe to my channel. All my subscribers are eligible. When I hit 100 subscribers, I'll roll my D100. If your number comes up, you win. It's that simple. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get on to this week's race. This week's PC race is the Aarakocra. For this video, I will be using 4 reference books. For the standard Aarakocra, I will be drawing from the AD&D 2nd Edition Monstrous Manual, 2140, and the Complete Book of Humanoids, 2134. For the Athasian Aarakocra, I will be referencing the Age of Heroes Rules for Conquering the Savage Lands from the Dark Sun campaign setting expanded and revised, 2438. And the Dark Sun Monsters Compendium Appendix 2, Terrors Beyond Tier, 2433. Appearance. The standard 2nd edition Aarakocra, as presented in the Monsters Manual and the Complete Book of Humanoids, are birdmen who stand about 5 feet tall and have 20-foot wingspans. They have features of both eagles and parrots, with gray-black beaks and black eyes that are front-facing, giving them binocular vision. The males have brightly colored plumage that range in color from red to orange to yellow. As with most bird species, the females have a more subdued color scheme. They are usually brown or gray. Standard Aarakocra have 3 taloned fingers and opposable thumbs on both the midpoints of their wings and the ends of their legs. Athasian Aarakocra are also birdmen, but are much taller than their standard counterparts. They stand from 6 feet 5 inches to 8 feet tall, but share the same wingspan as their standard variety Aarakocra. The Aarakocra of Athas resemble vultures instead of the eagle-parrot hybrid look of the standard type. Monster Athasian Aarakocra range in color from black to gray to brown, while player character Athasian Aarakocra plumage tends to be white, silver, or pale blue. Their beaks and eyes are black like their standard cousins. They also share the same kind of hands and feet. So Aarakocra, unlike Varrock, who have 2 arms, 2 legs, and wings that are separate, Aarakocra, their wings are their arms. So they, because of this, they cannot fly and hold on to anything or manipulate a weapon with their actual arms, although their feet are have working hands with talons on them too, so they can hold javelins and things such as that with their feet and attack with them in a dive. But as far as their wings are concerned, it's like their arms are similar to what ours are, only instead of having like another long set of heavy bones, their pinky finger on each hand extends down out quite a bit further, and our arms would be longer than mine. My arms are about, 2.5 feet long, maybe not quite 2.5 feet long, and their arms would go out 5 feet before you hit a hand. Well, 4 feet before you hit a hand from their shoulder, and then about another 5 feet on the pinky. So the pinky would do something like this. hanging on my pinky, but it's about the best example that I can come up with. And then, you know, all the wing would be down here, below the arm. So, that is why Aarakocra cannot fly and swing a sword at the same time, because to grip it, they'd have to pull that pinky finger in, which would just fold their wing around. When they're perched, they have a tendency to kind of fold their wings up behind them and have their hands here. And the usable part of their hands that they have when they're not flying are the thumb and these three fingers. So, like the ring finger, middle finger, and index finger. And when they're not flying, they can manipulate weapons and tools almost as well as a human. Of course, they don't have that extra finger there to help them out, but almost as well as a human.
Role-playing Aarakocra. Both Standard and Athasian Aarakocra have a strong love of freedom and of the open sky, as well as a deep respect for the natural world. Those who leave their mountain homes to take up lives of adventure are seen as rebels by their fellow birdmen. Normally, PCs who have to leave home have some important cause driving them into the wider world. When Aarakocra speak Common or any other non-native tongue, their speech is interspersed with chirps and whistles. Advantages of playing an Aarakocra. Both Standard and Athasian Aarakocra have the following advantages over other races. Aarakocra have a natural 7 armor class. They can fly at a movement rate of 36 with maneuverability class of C. Aarakocra can attack with their claws. They can make 2 attacks per round for 1d3 damage plus strength if any applies. Aarakocra can make a special diving attack. If they have 200 feet to dive, they can attack with a +4 bonus to hit and do double damage when they strike. Standard Aarakocra Shaman of 7th level, who have the help of 4 other Aarakocra, can chant for 3 rounds and summon a friendly air elemental. The air elemental will perform favors, but will not risk its life for them. Disadvantages of playing an Aarakocra. Aarakocra are extremely claustrophobic. They will not enter into a building or cave without a very good reason. Aarakocra receive a penalty to hit when they are fighting in any area too small for them to spread their wings. Standard Aarakocra get a -3 penalty, while Athasian Aarakocra get a -2. Because of their hollow bones, Athasian Aarakocra take an extra 1d4 hit points of damage when struck by bludgeoning weapons. Base movement for both varieties of Aarakocra while walking is only half that of humans, at a 6. From here on out, I'm going to get into the information you will need to roll up an Aarakocra player character, both Standard and Athasian. Before you go any further, you might find it helpful to have ability scores already rolled up. If you have them handy, you can just follow along with the video and create your own Aarakocra PC. If you are not sure how to generate ability scores for AD&D 2nd Edition player characters, you can just check out my video on the subject. I'll put a link to the video in the description below. Racial stats. To play a standard PC Aarakocra, you need to have raw scores that fall into a certain range. This reflects the unique strengths and weaknesses of the Aarakocra race. Remember that we will be using raw scores, so don't figure the racial ability score adjustments in until after this step. The ability score requirement range for standard Aarakocra are as follows. Strength minimum 3, maximum 16. Dexterity minimum 8, maximum 18. Constitution minimum 6, maximum 16. Intelligence minimum 3, maximum 18. Wisdom minimum 3, maximum 17. Charisma minimum 3, maximum 18. Athasian Aarakocra, as with most things Athasian, are a little tougher than the standard variety. This is evident in their racial ability requirement range. Just like standard Aarakocra, we will be using your raw ability scores to see if you can play an Athasian Aarakocra. Do not add the racial ability scores yet. The racial ability requirement range for Athasian Aarakocra are Strength minimum 5, maximum 20. Dexterity minimum 8, maximum 20. Constitution minimum 6, maximum 18. Intelligence minimum 5, maximum 20. Wisdom minimum 5, maximum 19. And Charisma minimum 6, maximum 20. Hopefully the ability scores you have fit into the racial ability requirements. If not, you may want to try another race. Humans have no racial ability requirements and may make a good choice. If you are still with me, then I guess this means your scores fell within the racial range for Aarakocra. Now it's time to move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is adjusting your Aarakocra's raw scores using the radical ability adjustments for either Standard or Athasian Aarakocra. Standard Aarakocra add 1 to their dexterity and subtract 1 from their strength and constitution, while Athasian Aarakocra add 2 to their dexterity and subtract 1 from their strength and from their constitution. Next, we will move on to height, weight, and age. Standard Aarakocra males have a base height of 60 inches, while females' base height is 58 inches. Their height modifier is 1d6. For weight, the male's base is 80 pounds and the female's base is 70 pounds. To this, add 3d10 pounds. Standard Aarakocra's starting age is 15 plus 1d4 years. Have your DM roll for your maximum age, 50 plus 12 years. Standard Aarakocra reach middle age at 25, strength and con -1, wisdom and intelligence +1. Old age at 33, strength and dex -2, con -1, wisdom +1, and venerable age at 50, strength, dex, and con -1, intelligence and wisdom +1. Athasian Aarakocra males have a base height of 78 inches, while females have a base height of 75 inches. Their height is modified by 2d8 inches. A male Athasian Aarakocra's base weight is 90 pounds and a female's is 75 pounds. Their base weight is modified by 2d10 pounds. Athasian Aarakocra start their adventuring lives younger than Standard Aarakocra. Their base age is 10 and modified by 1d4 years. DM's rolling maximum age add 1d8 to 34 years. Athasian Aarakocra do not suffer the ravages of time until they reach venerable age, which is 36 years old. At this point, they subtract 1 from their strength and 1 from their dexterity. Picking a class. Okay, now that we have everything to do with your new player character's race figured out, let's take a look at what classes are available to them. For the Standard Aarakocra, they have 3 classes to choose from: Fighter, Shaman, and Thief. Athasian Aarakocra are not as limited in their choices of classes. They can be fighters, rangers, preservers, clerics, druids, thieves, traders, and psionicists. To become a fighter, your Aarakocra needs at least a 9 strength, while a thief requires a 9 dexterity. To become a shaman, your Aarakocra will need a 12 wisdom and constitution. Ability score requirements for Athasian Aarakocras are Fighter, Strength 9, Ranger, Strength 13, Dex 13, Con 14, Wisdom 14, Preserver, Intelligence 9, Cleric, Wisdom 9, Druid, Wisdom 12, Charisma 15, Thief, Dexterity 9, Trader, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 15, Charisma 12, Psionicist, Constitution 11, Intelligence 12, Wisdom 15. Standard Aarakocra are limited, as are all non-humans, in their advancement. They top out as 11th level in fighters, 7th level as shamans, and 11th level as thieves. If the exceeding level limits optional rule from page 15 of the Dungeon Master's Guide is used, Standard Aarakocra could push those level limits as high as 12th level fighter, 9th level shaman, and 15th level thief. Athasian Aarakocra level caps are Fighter 14th level, Ranger 12th level, Preserver 13th level, Cleric 16th level, Druid 12th level, Thief 12th level, Trader 14th level, and Psionicist Unlimited. As with standard varieties, Athasian Aarakocra can raise their level limits with high prerequisite ability scores. Standard Aarakocra have 2 multi-class combinations available to them: Fighter Shaman and Fighter Thief. Athasian Aarakocra multi-class combinations are Fighter Cleric, Fighter Thief, Fighter Psionicist, Thief Psionicist, Cleric Thief, and Cleric Psionicist. If you choose to run a standard Aarakocra Thief, its racial adjustments for thieving skills will be Open Locks, minus 10%, Move Silently, minus 5%, Detect Noise plus 15%, Read Languages, minus 5%, and add 5% to any one thieving ability. Athasian Aarakocra have the following adjustments to their starting thief skills. Pickpockets, minus 10%, Open Locks, minus 5%, Move Silently, plus 10%, Detect Noise, plus 5%, Climb Walls, negative 15%, and Forge Documents, minus 10%. Starting proficiencies. During character creation, a standard Aarakocra only has a limited list of weapon proficiencies to choose from. Dagger, dart, javelin, and flight lance are the only weapons that are initially allowed for proficiency or specialization. When standard Aarakocra earn more weapon proficiency slots later in their adventuring career, they may choose from the unrestricted list. A standard Aarakocra is similarly limited in their initial choice on non-weapon proficiencies. The list that they have to choose from at character creation is Alertness, Animal Noise, Danger Sense, Direction Sense, Hunting, Survival, Mountain, Weather Sense, and Weaving. Athasian Aarakocra do not have any limitations on their starting weapon or non-weapon proficiencies other than those imposed by their class and level. Special class abilities. For all the special class abilities such as spellcasting, backstabbing, or weapon specialization, look at Chapter 3, Player Character Classes, in the Player's Handbook or in the complete handbooks for details. Okay, that about covers the Aarakocra race. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you don't subscribe, you won't be entered into the drawing for the Character Record Sheet book. I hope you have a great day. See you later.